We have Senator Sundareshan.
Thank you, Mr. Pro Tem. Will the sponsor stand for questions?
He does
No,
not.
no.
He does not.
He doesn't. Okay. I do have questions. Will Senator Mendez stand for questions?
I'll stand.
Okay. Thank you. So, Senator, we have some concerns over this. This is a ballot referral, and so therefore I want to make sure that we are asking some questions ahead of moving it to third read. So, understanding that even with some of the government amendment and the floor amendment that was adopted, but without the fascism prohibition from your amendment, is it your understanding that this is still a pretty broad bill?
It's Broad is
Senator
saying
Meadows.
thank you, Senator President Pro Tem and Senator Sundareshan. Broad would be putting this very nicely. I can't seem to find a theme or even general guidelines about how to go about this. It seems a way to easily allow lawsuits because it's not because it's so vague. It will allow people to just play around with this way too much.
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Senator Sundareshan.
So, Senator, what does it really mean, I guess, for a public entity to be prohibited from spending public monies to reduce or replace motor vehicle travel with walking, biking, or public transit? Do you think that this might include prohibiting a city from putting in or even repainting bike lanes? Any sort of money put towards that purpose?
Mr. President Pro Tem and Senator Sundareshan, I'm even afraid this would allow people to stop the cities or counties from even discussing this, putting this on their agenda, let alone actually anything happening. They won't be able to consider certain things because of fear of falling afoul of this overly broad prescription for people to just sue like crazy.
And Mr. Chair?
Please.
Do you think this, does it sound like this might prohibit a city from also installing, e-bike stands or making investments to expand low-income rental housing?
President Pro Tem and Senator Sundareshan, those all are very real scenarios that could happen under this bill because of how broad it is. It doesn't allow for a level-headed approach to how these issues are complicated. And discussing a bike lane or different modes of travel are not necessarily promoting one thing or another. We wouldn't even be able to investigate certain things because that would sound like we're promoting something. So yeah, this has a lot of work to do before we decide to put this in front of the public.
And Mr. Chair?
Senator Sundareshan.
Thank you, Senator. So you also mentioned the lawsuit aspect of this, which I think is pretty broad and therefore concerning. So, are we saying that we should let any citizen across the state sue about the policy of a single municipality if they think it might run afoul of this prohibition that we're going to ask the voters to comment on, or to approve? So, for example, if I as a city, if I as a resident of the city of Tucson think that something that the city of Apache Junction or of Flagstaff is doing is wrong, and I disagree with it, I could therefore be able to bring a lawsuit against a city that I'm not a member of or not a resident of?
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem
Senator Meadows.
and Senator Sundareshan. Thank you for reminding me about how impractical the application of the actual provision is. It's inviting not just, this will bring down how government works all across the state. It'll invite what might be a localized issue and turn everything into a statewide issue, because this will empower any person with no interest or concern or connection to how to where the promotion or advocating might actually be happening, to allow them to intervene and control someone else's local government, which to me is an attack on government in general. So I don't know how we can support allowing people to disrupt government at every level.
Thank you.
Thank you.